Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast on a mission to inspire a world where food makes us better. Guys, today we are finishing this week with another fat burning episode. And why do I want to talk about fat burning again? Well, just because it's a cool thing when you can change your body composition the way you want. It's also really great when you know how to maintain lean body mass and how to maintain your ideal body weight in an easier and simpler fashion. And when you understand what things are required to maintain lean body mass, in case it starts getting out of balance or it starts getting to a place where you don't want to be, like you might be getting fatter at certain points in your life. So you want to know these things. You want to have these tools to adjust it as needed and have a little bit better understanding of what's needed to be done and what kind of tools you can use to change your body composition, to change the amount of lean and fat body mass that you have. So today we are talking about a few other points from Andrew Huberman's podcast. Andrew Huberman is a neuroscientist who has his own lab out of Stanford University. And Andrew analyzed a lot of data for his latest podcast on fat loss, data mostly around neuroscience, but also a lot of it has to do, of course, with metabolism. And so he gave a few very practical protocols to use based on science to adjust your metabolism, how fast it is, how many calories you burn, and also to help us to optimize our fat burning processes. So this is data that is coming from 90-minute podcast. If you want to, hear more science, and if you're a little bit more on a geeky side, then I highly recommend you to listen to the latest episode of Andrew Huberman's podcast. If you just want the most practical, actionable steps, then stay here and you'll get them today. A couple of more. On Wednesday, we talked about the most calorie burning kind of movement that you can possibly do to increase your metabolism, to burn more calories every day, and to easier maintain and lose body fat. So tune in to the episode before this one that we did on Wednesday if you want to learn more about that movement that would allow you to burn 800 to 2500 calories more per day. So tune into that episode. And today we're talking about two modalities that will help you to lose more body fat, to burn more fat. One is called exposure. You might have heard or read about that our fat is different. Like we have white fat, we have brown fat, and we have beige fat that kind of in between white and brown fat, and it can turn brown under certain conditions. And so these types of body fat, they are metabolically different. So white fat is more or less not that active. It's just a reservoir or a storage of energy. Now, brown fat is different. It is designed by nature to keep us warm. It can burn quite a lot of calories while we are doing nothing. So the more brown fat we have, usually the higher our metabolism is. And when it gets activated, it can help you to burn again more calories on a daily basis, and that can help you to burn more fat and stay leaner naturally. If you want to activate your brown fat on a regular basis, one of the best ways and most convenient ways to do so is cold exposure. But not any cold exposure will do. And what most of us, fans of cold exposure and cold showers, do isn't actually the best for brown fat activation, not at all. And by that I mean, if you take cold showers, if you do cold bath, ice bath on a regular basis, and you're at a point when yeah, you feel the cold, but you kind of are used to that and you don't shiver. That's a very important aspect, guys. It doesn't make you shiver, your cold exposure. Like for me, cold showers don't do much. I just get in there. At first, it's a little bit unpleasant, but then I just breathe through it and I don't shiver at all. So this kind of cold exposure doesn't actually do much for your brown fat activation. What does do something that increases your metabolic rate a lot. There were no actual numbers on the podcast about how much faster your metabolism gets. I think it very much depends on your overall metabolic rate, how much fat and lean tissue you have, how much brown fat you have. Anyhow, if you want to activate whatever brown fat you have and increase your metabolic rate, you actually want to shiver and not being as adapted to cold as you might think. So you need to shiver. And the way Andrew, Professor Huberman, proposes us to do so is to get into the cold shower, whatever part of the day, time of the day you want to do so. So get into the shower for like 1 to 3 minutes and then get out of the shower and don't use the towel. No, you need to allow yourself to dry and shiver as much as possible. So get out of the shower and just be outside there, in your room, in your apartment. It's great if it's a little bit chilly out there and you want to shiver. So get out of the shower for 1 to 3 minutes, get back into the shower for 1 to 3 minutes, get back out for 1 to 3 minutes, and do that 2-3 times. And the most important thing, you need to make yourself shiver. And so with any cold exposure you do, you want to maximize shivering. That's when your body is working with your brown fat to warm you up, to keep you alive. Now, when you aren't shivering, it means that your body is adapted, your metabolism, your body temperature are maintained pretty well, and your body does not need to shiver. And there is not so much brown fat activation anymore, and you're not increasing your metabolic rate all that much. So in order for you to help yourself with fat burning, fat loss, with cold exposure, that is quite an effective tool when done right. You want to shiver. You don't want to be cold water adapted. So get in, get out, be outside. Don't remove that moisture with a towel. Allow yourself to shiver. What recently helped me to shiver a lot is I'm in London in Canary Wharf, and we have a lot of water. There is Thames all over this small kind of like island or pocket of land. And we have a sailing club here. And so with my friends, we went kayaking. And I think it was around 10 degrees. And we weren't really dressed specifically for cold water kayaking. And we didn't realize there were holes in those kayaks. It's not the kayak was broken. No, it was just that they were supposed to be there, those holes. And so we were kayaking for like about an hour. And our asses get wet, and mine as well. And then we had to get back to our place where we live for 5-7 minute walk. It probably took us a bit longer because we were tired. And so, again, our asses were wet, and we already were on the water for an hour. And my lunch was, a long time ago. And while walking back, I started shivering. And that's when my brown fat was activated for sure. When I take cold showers every day, I don't really shiver. So the only time, again, I shiver is when I spend time in cold river or on lake somewhere for prolonged period of time. Then it makes me shiver. So again, cold water exposure for fat loss. It works only when you are not cold water adapted. And once you get adapted, you are going to be activating your fat brown tissue, and you won't be increasing your metabolism all that much. So that when it comes to cold exposure, if you want to use it for fat loss. The second thing that was mentioned on the podcast is L-carnitine. L-carnitine, an amino acid, it comes from food. Our body can make it, but it also comes in a supplement form. And whenever I work with anyone on fat loss, people who want to maximize their fat loss for a specific period of time when we are working together, I always recommend people to get L-carnitine in a supplement form, aceto L-carnitine, and start taking them. Because, first of all, most of us are not eating nowhere near as much meat and fish to get L-carnitine. Second thing, our body isn't that great for to maximize conversion other of amino acids into L-carnitine just for the purpose of fat burning under normal conditions, unless you're starving and your body has to do that, right? Under normal conditions, the body isn't that interested in burning fat and fat loss. And so you might not have enough for fat loss. And L-carnitine, why it was mentioned on the podcast, along with B2 or riboflavin vitamin, they're essential for fat oxidation. So basically, when the fat is released from your fat cells, that fat needs to be burned in mitochondria for energy. And in order for that to happen, we need a few other building blocks like L-carnitine, and we need B2 or riboflavin for that process of fat oxidation for energy to happen. And we talked about L-carnitine, how our body is not efficient of making it out of other amino acids or other proteins. And if you want to maximize and optimize your fat loss, you want to take L-carnitine. Just make sure you're taking pure L-carnitine, no additives, sweeteners, and all that other shit that they put a lot of L-carnitine drinks. I suggest you get your L-carnitine in a powder or peel form. So L-carnitine, and then B2 vitamin that a lot of people aren't eating enough, because again, it comes from foods like liver or dairy, and a lot of people, especially when trying to lose fat, especially women, trying to avoid things like dairy products or things like chicken livers or a lot of meat in general, and eggs, whole eggs. And that's why, but when we are losing fat, when we are burning fat for energy while losing it, we need more B2 than we would need if we weren't interested in losing weight and losing fat and burning fat, right? So we need more of that. And usually with dieting, we eat less of it. And that makes it so much less effective for our body to burn fat for energy. So I always recommend to supplement with B complex, not just B2, but the whole B complex, just because B vitamins are necessary for so many other energy producing processes in your body, and for just functioning well mentally and physically. So I always recommend for whoever wants to lose fat, to burn fat, to maximize and optimize this process, to take B vitamins and take L-carnitine. And Andrew Huberman, he mentioned L-carnitine. And I think he didn't go into other nutritional stuff just because he is a neuroscientist, not nutritionist so much. But even he mentioned L-carnitine because L-carnitine also has this property that it usually helps with energy metabolism and with your mental performance. So these are two things that you want to take away from today. If you want to use cold exposure for fat loss, for weight loss, then you want to shiver. You want to do whatever it is, you can safely do to shiver more, not becoming cold water adapted. And then the second thing, take L-carnitine and B2, probably best to take the whole B complex to give your body everything it needs to oxidize, to burn fat in the most effective, efficient way. And that's it for today, guys. So a couple more tools in your fat burning toolkit. So when you need to burn some fat, you know how to do it better, faster, more effectively using science, not some fad diet and miracle thinking. If you have any questions about what you heard on this podcast, please do reach out via my email, angela@createyourself.today, or on my Instagram, where I'm the most active at 1000 year young. That's my Instagram handle. Share this episode with other people who are interested in making their fat loss, weight loss more effective, and also who are interested to learn about their metabolism and how they can adjust better their body composition. So please do share, please help others. If you have questions, reach out. And guys, have an awesome weekend ahead. And till next time, as usual, eat better daily.